In this episode, we will be changing some key rules and details of the Tournament of Power, including the arena itself, to make it not only more thrilling, but more worthy of the scale it should have in the original story. We will also dive into Team 7 overall strategy and their final moments with their loved ones before heading off to the tournament. With nothing else to add, let's begin. After a long and hard year of intense training, the warriors of Team 7 spent their final days before the tournament doing something just as important: resting. As a certain wise and pervy master once said, work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. After their successful training, there was nothing more to do but relax, clear their minds, and enjoy time with their loved ones. After all, this just might be their final moments together. It's now the beginning of September, year 781, and just one day before the Tournament of Power, Virus is growing increasingly anxious over Majin Buu's situation. Despite the entire year passing, Buu still hasn't woken up. Frustrated and running out of patience, the God of Destruction demands that Goku and Vegeta quickly find a replacement. The two Saiyans argue over the options. After thinking it through, Goku suggests that Frieza might be their best shot. Naturally, Vegeta opposes the idea, saying someone like Frieza will only bring tension and problems to the team. But Goku replies that they simply don't have time to search for someone else. Besides, in a chaotic battle royale like this, having a wild card like Frieza might actually work to their advantage. Vegeta continues to protest, but Virus steps in to shut it down. He reminds them that while Frieza is evil, he's also pragmatic and he knows better than to ruin his one chance at survival. Without telling them, on his mind, Virus sees Frieza as the one missing piece the team needs. A ruthless fighter willing to do whatever it takes to survive. While the Saiyans and the others expect a simple tournament, Virus knows better. This is going to be a battlefield, and only the strongest and most merciless will last. With Virus' approval, Goku heads to Enmadayo to request Frieza's temporary release from Hell. The events from here play out mostly as in the original story. Goku descends into Frieza's personal hell and makes him an offer: help them in the tournament, and in exchange, he will bring him back to life. The deal is made between the two longtime enemies, and with that, Team Universe 7 is finally complete. The day of the Tournament of Power has arrived. All of Team 7's chosen warriors, along with the gods, gather at Capsule Corp headquarters, just hours before the competition begins. The final meeting starts with Virus at the front, asking each fighter to give a rundown of the progress they made during training. One by one, the team members share the results, giving everyone a better sense of what their allies are capable of, and what they can expect in the arena. Once the updates are done, Virus seems casually optimistic. He clearly feels more confident, but it's obvious he's still counting on Goku and Vegeta to carry the team. Then Frieza, who is also present, breaks the mood by asking a very important detail regarding the rules of the Tournament of Power. He asks Whis if killing opponents is allowed. The atmosphere grows tense. Most of the team was already uneasy about Frieza being here in the first place. Goku had a hard time convincing them to accept him, and now, after a question like that, everyone is on edge again. Whis calmly explains, since there is no rule explicitly forbidding killing, most likely there won't be any disqualifications for it, and it is allowed. That one confirmation rapidly darkens the mood. it becomes clear that most of Team 7 hadn't really thought much about the tournament's rules. They were so focused on their training, they hadn't prepared for the reality of what this battle might actually become. Whis notices the tension among the members of Team 7, particularly the Earthlings. To ease their nerves, he offers to go over the rules and the structure of the Tournament of Power once more so that the team can finally begin planning their strategy. The team agrees. The Angel of Universe 7 then creates a holographic projection in the air, displaying a detailed image of the arena. With a visual aid in place, he begins his explanation. So, let's deeply explain what are the rules and characteristics of the Tournament of Power for our revision, because it won't be exactly the same as the original story. The Tournament of Power will be held in a massive Battle Royale format, where 8 universes compete for survival. Each team will consist of 10 fighters. However, any member is allowed to create minions to assist them in battle, as long as these are a natural part of their own powers. Participants are free to use any abilities, tools, or weapons at their disposal. Techniques with lethal potential are implicitly also permitted. This is all with intention to allow the fighters to unleash their full strength without restriction, giving them the best chance to defend their universe. Since all abilities are allowed, this includes techniques that draw energy from external sources, such as planets or other beings. The only limitation is that no contestant might receive energy or direct assistance from their universe gods, unless they use their lifeline. More of this in a moment. If a participant is defeated in battle and is unable to recover by their own means or throughout the aid of their teammates, they will be restored by their corresponding angel and removed from the fight. They will be allowed to spectate until either their team is victorious or completely eliminated. If the final member of the team is defeated and cannot return to the battlefield, that team is eliminated from the tournament. Each universe is granted one lifeline. This allows limited divine intervention from their gods, either the God of Destruction or the Supreme Kai. It is a single-use opportunity and must follow specific conditions. First, the gods cannot directly attack, hinder, or interfere with the other teams in any way. Second, the assistance provided must fall within a narrow range of options. For instance, the Supreme Kai can choose to either fully heal a single team member or provide them with the Potara earrings. In the case of the God of Destruction, they can either create a temporary defensive barrier around their team or grant a single member a boost in power by sharing the energy of destruction for a limited time. This lifeline essentially reflects the degree of trust and faith the gods place in their mortal fighters. The gods might use it at their discretion, even without being asked by the team. Another thing, the tournament will begin with a base time limit of 48 minutes. However, if multiple teams are still standing after this period, the timer will be extended by 30 minutes. Should 3 hours pass without a conclusion, a final countdown will begin. During this countdown, if no fighters are eliminated within 10 minutes, the team with the fewest members remaining will be automatically disqualified. If 2 or more teams are tied for the lowest number of fighters, all of them will be eliminated. Once a single fighter is eliminated during the countdown, the timer will reset and the process begins again. A fighter can be eliminated in one of two ways, either by being knocked outside the arena's boundaries, or by being defeated to the point that they can no longer recover or return to the battle. Now, regarding the arena itself, it will be far from an ordinary battlefield. The structure has been specially designed to accommodate dozens of fighters who wield divine powers, all capable of destroying entire universes and moving at speeds that make light itself seem sluggish. To begin with, the arena will be surrounded by a spherical barrier that marks the outer limit of the battlefield. This barrier defines the zone in which participants are allowed to fight and where flight becomes possible. Any fighter forced beyond this boundary will be immediately eliminated from the tournament. The arena's foundation is crafted from some of the hardest materials in existence, further reinforced by soul energy provided by the Grand Priest. This combination makes the arena exceptionally durable, capable of withstanding intense combat between god-tier fighters. However, it is intentionally not made completely indestructible. Destruction is, after all, part of the spectacle intended to entertain Xeno-sama. An additional property of the arena is its ability to self-repair. The rate of this regeneration depends on the scale of damage. Smaller cracks or breaks will heal more slowly, while larger areas will regenerate at a faster pace. As the structure nears full restoration, the pace of repair gradually slows, maintaining a dynamic but balanced battlefield throughout the match. The final and perhaps most crucial characteristic of the arena lies in its manipulated spatial field. The Grand Priest has modified the laws of the space within the arena's radius, producing two major effects. First, while the arena may physically measure only a few hundred meters in diameter, the altered spatial field causes the effective travel distance between 2 points within the arena to be vastly extended. Though I don't have a defined measurement, I will state that navigating from one end of the arena to the other is akin to crossing an entire universe. In practice, this makes the arena from a relatively small platform into an infinitely larger battlefield. If this sounds excessive, it's important to remember that every participant wields divine ki. These are beings with godlike power and speed, capable of moving across star distances in moments. If the arena were left at its true size, fighters would cover its entirety in a split second, with little to no energy expenditure. By artificially expanding the travel distance, positioning becomes a strategic decision, and rapid movement becomes costly in terms of stamina. For instance, a fighter attempting to traverse the full span of the arena within seconds will need to expend a much larger amount of energy, leaving themselves vulnerable to opponents who have conserved their strength. The second effect of the spatial distortion is a nerf to large-scale destructive attacks. In a standard-sized arena, unleashing a massive energy wave could easily engulf the entire platform. But within this warp spatial environment, the range of even the most powerful techniques becomes limited, unless proportionally more energy is used. Attempting to nuke the arena now becomes a high-risk move that requires much more energy, adding a new layer of tactical complexity. In essence, this spatial manipulation ensures that both movement and offense comes with a real cost and consequence. It transforms the arena into more than just about brute force, but also a test of endurance and strategy. Whis concludes his brief explanation of the Tournament of Power by finally touching on the reward for victory. First and foremost, the winning team and their entire universe will be spared from destruction. Secondly, the surviving team will earn the right to summon the Super Dragon Balls and make a single wish, one to fulfill their greatest and deepest desire. After hearing this, the members of Team 7 realize they haven't actually given much thought to what they will wish for. Survival has been their only concern up to this point. Regardless, most of the team members are not too ambitious, so they only briefly discuss about it, including Android 17, who admits he just wants to take an unforgettable trip with his family, free from the constant demands of his job as a wildlife ranger. Krillin, curious, asks Goku what he plans to wish for. The Saiyan shrugs and says he doesn't really want anything for himself, but he reveals he's been thinking about using the Super Dragon Balls to bring back all the universes that will be erased during the tournament. Gohan immediately agrees. Restoring innocent lives is the right thing to do. Goku nods and turns to 17, asking if he'd be alright with giving up the wish for that purpose, promising to personally help him gather the regular Earth Dragon Balls later for his own wish. Android 17 smirks, assuring them that he never intended to use the Super Dragon Balls for himself anyway. He was simply sharing what mattered the most to him, but he agrees. Countless innocent creatures shouldn't be erased just because of a tournament. Frieza, who until now has remained silent, finally chimes in, mocking his teammates for being so sentimental, saying that instead of wasting the wish on reviving worthless universes, they should be aiming for something truly greater, like absolute power. Vegeta immediately fires back, clearly upset. He tells Frieza that his opinion means nothing to the rest of them, and he can't forget about having any say in the wish. Frieza rage baits him further, claiming he can't believe that the proud prince of the Saiyans has grown so soft and weak-minded. Vegeta nearly loses his composure, but before the situation escalates further, Whis calmly steps in. To the surprise of everyone, Whis says that Frieza is not entirely wrong. The team stares in confusion, prompting Whis to clarify. He explains that while the Grand Press said the winning team will be allowed to use the Super Dragon Balls for their deepest desire, specifically, there could be an unspoken implication. The Omni Kings were the ones who decide to erase the losing universes in the first place. Going against their will, even with a wish, may carry unforeseen consequences. Though the Grand Press didn't forbid such a wish outright, Whis warns that it might not be as simple as they think. Despite this, Goku remains confident and he tells Whis everything will work out. The angel gives him a soft smile as if he expected that answer all along. Virus, having grown impatient with this ongoing discussion, finally puts his foot down. He orders the team to stop wasting time and start planning their battle strategy immediately. Turning to Frieza, he warns him if he continues to stir up any more trouble for the team, Virus will erase him on the spot. Frieza is forced to politely comply, but really, in his mind, the Emperor had more nefarious intentions.
確信しました。宇宙の消滅がかかった今回の大会は、神々さえも手玉に取ることができる大チャンス。最後に笑うのはこの私。いつまでも好き勝手はさせませんよ、ビルス。
With a change of subject, it's Piccolo and Gohan who take the lead in the conversation regarding planning, formation, and overall strategy. After going over their options and the potential threats they might face, the team begins shaping their game plan. The foundation of their strategy is built around the strengths and weaknesses of each fighter, giving everyone a clear role. As the strongest members of Universe 7, Goku and Vegeta will be the team's primary attackers. Given both of them prefer to fight on their own, they agreed to a simple concession. If either of them is overwhelmed by several fighters at once, at least one teammate will step in to help. Losing either Goku or Vegeta early will be devastating, so keeping them in the fight is a top priority. With Goku and Vegeta holding the front lines, the next strongest pair, Gohan and Piccolo, will act as the strategic core of the team. Their role is critical. They will stay close to the rest of the team, offering support and direction, especially to the weaker members. Thanks to their unmatched synergy, Gohan and Piccolo will stick together as much as possible. Though they are prepared to split if the situation demands it. The androids 17 and 18 will focus on disrupting the enemy. Their unlimited stamina makes them perfect for constantly applying pressure, stalling stronger opponents, and harassing targets that might be a threat to the rest of the team. Their job is to wear enemies down and create openings for their allies to strike. The humans Krillin, Tien, and Master Roshi will serve as backup fighters. They will operate together as a small unit, focusing on taking out weaker enemies and assisting stronger teammates when needed. Tien, being the most powerful of the three, will lead their offense, while Krillin and Roshi support him and the rest when necessary, using their variety of utility and healing techniques. The team agrees this trio must not be left alone. Separating them will likely result in their quick elimination. And then there is Frieza, the wild card of Universe 7. Given his current strength, Frieza will be left on his own. His task is simple: eliminate the weak and ambush the wounded. He will look for opportunities to backstab opponents when they least expect it. Though no one truly trusts him, they agree that his unpredictable nature could work in their favor, as long as they stay alert. Lastly, there is the lifeline intervention from their gods. The group decides this should be saved for a last resort. If the situation grows dire, they will use it to protect either Goku or Vegeta, depending on who needs it most. With their strategy finalized, Universe 7 is ready. Only a few hours remain before the Tournament of Power begins, and the team are joined by their families and closest friends. Despite the heavy responsibility hanging over them, the atmosphere is surprisingly calm. Each fighter has already come to terms with what must be done to protect their loved ones and their universe. No nervousness or fear runs through them at this moment. Instead of worrying about what's to come in just a few hours, they spend the remaining time together as a family. Though not all of them are related by blood, the experiences and memories they've shared over the years have forged strong bonds. The only exception, of course, is Frieza. He keeps his distance from the rest, waiting patiently and most likely already plotting his next move for his empire once the Tournament of Power is over. Time passes quietly until Whis gathers their attention. Only 10 minutes remain until the Grand Priest calls for them. The warriors begin preparing to leave, but not before saying their proper goodbyes. In a rare moment of tenderness, Goku approaches Shishi and embraces her. She's emotional, but Goku holds her close, offering comfort. He kneels to pat Goten gently on the head, assuring his son and wife that he will return soon. Gohan has his own heartfelt moment with Videl and their baby daughter, Pan. He's been distant this past year, committed to training harder than ever. But it was all for them, especially for his daughter. His resolve becomes stronger as he holds Pan in his arms. Even Mr. Satan offers support, giving Gohan a confident thumbs up, telling him that he and his father are the strongest in the universe and nothing will stop them to come back to their home. Piccolo, standing nearby, watches quietly, but Gohan pulls him into the moment. After all, he's part of the Son family as well. The Namekian simply nods and joins them, moved but quiet. At the same time, the Briefs family gathers around Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince, as expected, tries to maintain his stoic behavior, but Bulma sees right through it. She hugs him tightly, telling him there is no need to hold back. Trunks joins in next, clinging to his father with pride. Vegeta puts down the facade and genuinely smiles. Bulma hands over the newborn bra to the prince's arms, a reminder of what he's fighting for. Vegeta's resolve now is unbreakable. The prince is not the only one being motivated by their child. Krillin and Android 18 have grown more anxious in these final moments about leaving their daughter's side. But it's their little child Maron who comforts them. Far from being sad, she's cheerful and full of joy, proud that her parents are going to save the world. Seeing her so confident lifts their spirits. Android 18 and especially Krillin feel no fear anymore. They won't let their daughter down. Android 17 adoptive family is there as well, and they join Krillin and 18. Their family has just grown even larger. 17 promises his wife and children that once this is all over, he will take them on a trip, along with Krillin, Maron, and his sister. Nearby, Yamcha, Ulon, and Puar offer their well wishes to the team. Even Yamcha, who have retired from fighting, seems motivated to train again, and asks Roshi and Tien to help him out once they return. Roshi, watching the family farewells unfold, turns to Tien and asks him if he had thought of forming a family one day. Tien is taken aback for a bit and replies that he has been so focused with martial arts that he hasn't thought about it. But now he's realizing that it is something he should do one day. Talking about family, Tien realizes that Xiaozu is not present despite being there moments ago. It is then that he hears Xiaozu calling him. Tien turns back and sees his close friend, and standing beside him is a long-lost friend, Launch. The two haven't seen each other in years. Tien looks surprised, but there is warmth in his expression. It turns out that Xiaozu, being the good bro he is, recently managed to contact Launch so she could meet with Tien again. Her presence gives Tien something new to fight for, something beyond passion for the martial arts. Their meeting is brief but meaningful. As they part, Launch lets Tien know she will be waiting for him. As this occurs, Roshi is also approached by his sister Uranai Baba. The two reflect quietly on their long lives. Neither had children, yet both played a role in forming the large, strange family they now stand with. Baba, usually cold, lets Roshi know that she actually enjoyed her time teaching magic to his brother, and finishes up by reminding him to take care of the magical familiar that she gave him during his sorcery training. Minutes pass. All the goodbyes have been said. Encouragement has been given. Whis stands at the center of the group and gestures for them to form a circle. Each fighter steps forward and holds hands in preparation to leave. As the warriors gather, the rest of the people present start cheering them up, wishing them their best and placing their trust upon his friends. Suddenly, someone else communicates telepathically towards each member of Team 7.
かつての人造人間17号の面影はもうありません。このまま17号さんのいる島までご案内します。今では家族もできて真面目に働いています。しかも大きな島をたった一人で守っているんです。このまま17号さんのいる島までご案内します。ついでにこの近くの小さな村に住むとんでもない武術の才能を持つ少年を知っていますか？ 17 号さんは相変わらず強いですよ。というよりさらに強さが増してます。天才ですよ。本人も気づいていないほど。まだ本当に小さな子供なんですけどね。敵のままだったら恐ろしいことになっていたでしょう。お願いしますね。僕は悟空さんのこと信じていますので。
From those last inspirational words from the Guardian of Earth, Dende, all of the members of Team 7 have increased their fighting spirit to the max. Even Frieza himself, after being praised, have changed his mentality to be more open to cooperate during the tournament. Team 7, including Shin and Virus, are finally ready to teleport to the arena of the Tournament of Power. After Whis signaling to the Grand Priest that they are prepared, suddenly they are all wrapped in a mystical divine energy, and in an instant, they are all teleported directly into the arena. Their family are left behind, naturally worried about the uncertainty of what's going to happen. With nothing else to do, they all place their hopes in their chosen warriors of Team 7. The Tournament of Power that will decide all their fates is about to begin. Alright guys, that should be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. As usual, I appreciate quite a lot. See you next time, and I hope you're having a great day, and if not, it will be better. See ya, goodbye.